certainly during the holidays season, if you will, we see a number of things peak or let's say really come to the forefront of your um, recognition that, hey, something's not right. And I don't feel well. I'm tired. I feel like I never went to sleep last night. Stress is a bad thing. We all know that. Well, what do we do about it? Well, one, we got to make sure we have optimal hormones because the higher your cortisol level, the lower all of your hormones are, the more inflammatory markers you may have, the more aches, pains, so forth. We also tend to overindulge, either too much alcohol, certainly smoking is bad, recreational drugs, are a bad scene for everyone. And so, overindulging with alcohol, with, gluttony on Thanksgiving Day and dinners and the holidays around, that tends to go from one day to multiple days. And so we have to think about in advance what we're going to put in our bodies. Great. If you like turkey and dressing, that's fine. But you don't need, 3 pieces of pecan pie afterwards piled up to the sky with vanilla ice cream. We need maybe pumpkin pie would be a better choice, and a no sugar added ice cream and those kind of things. But so I think when those things happen, blood sugar spikes, cortisol's at its very highest, or hormone levels maybe at their very lowest, particularly if we're not sleeping well during that time, or just stressed out over having the new in-laws over, the family, or maybe you're trying to impress the new girlfriend because you want to have a family. Whatever the case may be, it affects all of us in very similar ways. We have to feed the machine right. We have to have adequate rest. We have to have good vitamins and nutrients in our systems, or we're going to suffer the consequences. And it may not be a crash. It's really more gradual than that, but it builds up to a point where all of a sudden you're like over the limit. This is not working. I don't feel right. I need to do something. Well, don't wait until New Year's to make the resolution to call us. Click on the link below, listen to our podcasts, go to the website, do some testing, and really make this a commitment. I like to tell people, you need to be a student of this. You need to learn everything that you can. You could start with my book, Beyond the Fountain of Youth, on Amazon. Another friend of mine's book called Hormone, Havoc is a great one, with Terry Deneau. She's a nurse practitioner out of Dallas that's a brilliant gal, and we both trained with our mentor, Dr. Rousier, out of World Lake Medical in Salt Lake. I was just there for 3 days this last weekend doing another review, and I just saw him in September. But this was a review of all the latest literature, making it easy for us to get to the literature, to hand the patients and give them the supporting data that they really need. Because I had a conversation yesterday with a woman in her early 70s. I'm treating her and her husband. She's been doing much better, but she went to an endocrinologist that took her off everything. So I got her labs. I'm like, what's going on? Your estradiol 0, your progesterone 0, your testosterone's 0, your thyroid's not optimal. Well, my endocrinologist said I didn't need all that and changed me back to Synthroid, to synthetic T4. I'm like, here we go again. And so I hate being in that position and I don't want the patient to be the one in the middle between two of us. And so I literally immediately emailed her the links on the differences of why patients prefer 61% of the time to have a blend of T3 and T4 because it controls their symptoms better. And unfortunately, most endocrinologists have been brainwashed by Big Pharma for the last 30 plus years that levothyroxine Synthroid is the gold standard. Well, it's not. It doesn't work well. It doesn't do much of anything to increase free T3 levels, which is the active thyroid hormone. So we give a blend of T3 and T4 through Armored Thyroid or MP Thyroid, one of the brands. And so, I see those things happen all the time. And so, which is why I continually go to trainings to be able to have the ammunition to give to my patients to read and understand. And then ultimately, it's your decision. And I say, you're going to have to decide. You've read my book. I, recommended Hormone Havoc. They read that one. We've had multiple conversations. I've sent you the literature. And I know that this internist is your golf buddy, or, you've been seeing this other person for years, but are they really a specialist in this area? Are they an absolute hormone expert on natural bioidentical hormones, or are they stuck in the year 2000 and 2001 from the World Health Initiative study that said all hormones were bad? Everyone in the world stopped prescribing them. Why was that? Because we were all scared to death. Those studies were on Premarin and progestins, Prempro, which were made from the horse's urine. No one in their right mind, no woman in her right mind is going to want to take those products from a horse's urine when we can have natural compounded bioidentical hormones made from yams that are the exact duplicate of what you made your whole life. And so, anyways, I'm kind of on a tangent here, but it's something that's so important to me is that you stay knowledgeable and that you are the CEO of your own company, not your endocrinologist or your OB-GYN or your well-meaning primary care, that you make this a study so you know what the new trends are and what you can benefit from the most by seeing someone like me that has been studying this for 20 plus years or 10 plus years, whatever the number may be, that they belong to, are trained through World Medical, that they belong to the anti-aging academies, American Academy of Anti-Aging and Regenerative Medicine, Age Management Medical Group. There's several that teach really hormone optimization. And it's far different than, what most providers were taught in school 20, 30, or 40 years ago. If you're in the midst of holiday planning and feel like, you are suffering from hormone havoc, or certainly you need an option that's beyond the fountain of youth, then we're here to help you. And we can send you to a LabCorp to get some labs. We can have a telemedicine visit. We can do a phone call. We can ship you a kit to do some testing. And again, the foundation is knowing where those hormone levels are and having someone skilled in interpretation help walk you through it. Doesn't mean that you have to make a change or spend millions of dollars to change your lifestyle. Some of the things are very simple and inexpensive that you can do. So if you just click on the link below, go to aspen-regenerativemedicine.com, go to Amazon and get a copy of my book, Beyond the Fountain of Youth. Call the number below. We're here to help. And particularly if you're in a stressful time of year and feel like you're at the end of the road and things aren't working, there is a solution. And we would love